Hi everyone. We have two major new features for the 1.9 release of QromaScan. First, we have significantly improved the method for cropping images. It's called scan templates, and with it you can get perfectly cropped scans from standard size prints. This is the biggest change to the scanning engine we've ever made, and I'll get to more of that in just a minute. Second, we have a new way for you to batch select images from the gallery and apply new metadata tags to them. Since the very first version of QromaScan about a year ago, we've tried to detect and crop your images with a technique called machine learning. We train the camera to look for a strong rectangular shape against the green background and set crop marks around it. In principle, this should work pretty well, but it was never perfect. Images that contain strong rectangular shapes or photos that were not completely flat would throw off this detection method and would either crop the image incorrectly or leave some green around the edges. Over the past few releases, we've tried to make some improvements to automatic image detection, but now we have a new technique that can yield perfectly cropped images very consistently. The idea behind scan templates is pretty simple. Most of our photos are standard size prints, and we have preloaded these crop sizes into QromaScan so you can call them right up with either a touch gesture or through voice recognition. You can slide your photos right into a template and you'll get a perfect crop every time. Let me show you how this works. So after you update to version 1.9, you'll notice that the scan screen has been redesigned a little. Everything is still there and works the same, but let me walk you through everything real quickly. The People panel has been moved over here, and a single tap still removes the last added name. A long press of 1 second or more erases all the names. Next door, we have the Location preset panel. So if you've saved addresses and place names, you can tap once to see this panel come up as a scrollable list. You can tap on it again to extend this panel a bit. And then finally, a third tap hides the panel altogether. The Date and Place panel works just like before. Just a single tap will clear its contents. The big new thing is this Templates panel. Let me show you how this works. Inside this box, you'll see that I have 7 different common photo sizes. Now, in the Settings panel, I can change these print sizes from inches to metric, and I can also pick one size that's my default preference that will show up every time I open the scan screen. Now, I can single tap on this box and cycle through the different sizes, and they go from the smallest to the largest. Now, you don't have to get your ruler out and measure your pictures every time you want to scan one. We have a few tricks that can make things easy. Let me show you. Here's an image size that was very common when my parents were taking photos. It's 3 by 4¼ inches, but you don't really have to know that. I'm going to slide it into the light box, and since I'm using my QromaScan Stay Flat, I have a lot of control over it. I'm just going to slide it right into the top left edge of the red box, and then I'm going to cycle through the templates until I get to the right size. There we go. From there, I'm just going to double tap on the red box or say capture to take the image. Let's do another one and I'll show you another neat feature. Here's a print size that I have a lot of. It's 3.5 by almost 5 inches. Now, rectangular 3.5 by 5 prints were very common in the 60s and 70s, but you'll notice this print is slightly smaller and has rounded edges. I'm going to slide it right into the light box and tap onto it until I find a template that's just the right size. Here's one that's close, but notice how it's just a little bigger. That's for the standard 3.5 by 5 inch size. Now, if I scan this, I'll get some green around the edges, and that's what we've been trying to avoid. Not to worry, we have an easy way to solve this problem. You can swipe left in this box, or say template smaller, and we'll shrink the current box by 5%. You can also swipe right to increase it in 5% increments. So just a few little swipes and I can get a much more accurate crop. There we go. One last thing. If you ever want to go back to automatic image recognition mode, just tap and hold on the templates box for 1 second or say template off, and we go back to the old way of cropping images. Tap and hold again, and scan templates reappear. Now, if you've come across a popular size that we don't have a template for, don't worry. Drop us a support message and we'll look into adding it. If it ends up being a popular size that we've overlooked, we can add it almost immediately and without the need for an app update. So that's scan templates. I think it's a big improvement over the old way of doing things, and I hope you love it. Starting with version 1.9, there's now an easy way to select a group of images from the galleries and then add or change metadata as a group. Simply long press on this Edit Tags button for 1 second or longer, and then you'll notice these selection circles over each image. Tap onto the images that you want and then select the Edit button. This opens the metadata editor, and any changes that you make here will overwrite the existing fields, with one exception. So for example, if I tap on this map icon and open up the location editor and find a particular place, when I tap on this select button, the location editor will automatically fill in the city, state, country, and location fields for me. Then hitting save will replace any of the information from the old photos with this new data. Now, the one exception is we don't erase people names when you use this feature. So you can safely add people without losing the existing people that you have in your photos. Okay, that's it for the new features for version 1.9. But while I've got you here, let me give a quick plug to our new documentation and tutorials feature that we introduced in version 1.8. If you ever need a refresher on how to use a QromaScan feature, we have a built-in PDF reader so you can open up the user guide or the quick start guide. And we also have video tutorials that are about 1 or 2 minutes in length that can help you learn a feature really quickly. As always, if you ever have any questions or problems using something in this release, please drop us a quick support ticket. We generally get back to you in less than 24 hours. Until next time, happy scanning.